We are in a new world. We are here. We are kind of ready to go. And it's a new thing. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how it's going to go. We're going to test it out. It tested out well yesterday. We'll just see how it goes from here. It's Face Off Hockey Show right now, actually. Hi, I'm Scotty Waz. I'm joined as always by. There's no one here. Johnny P is in San Francisco. Mark with the C is in his home with the baby, trying to be a father, as all good people should. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. We're using, as you can see, Lightstream. Lightstream is this new thing because Google Hangouts, like I said on the test show yesterday, if you didn't see the test show, it's fine. We're going to see what happens here. Google Hangouts was really screwing us. I wonder what happened with Google, but yet here we are. But now we're at Lightstream. Luckily, there are alternatives because, as everyone else knows, the internet is a bunch of copycats, and that's fine because when one thing goes down, another thing comes up, and that's what we're at right now with the Face Off Hockey Show. Google Hangouts is a plague on our existence. Yeah, it's a plague for everything involved for the sheer fact that it's limiting us. It's using too much bandwidth, and away we are. Here we are right now in this new era. Whether we're going to get guests on, that I don't know. The green room feature is something that we are still trying to hammer out. It's still something that we are trying to, I guess, see what happens here. This is the first time we used it. Ran a test yesterday and went well. It didn't go terribly bad. But we'll have to see going forward if this is a plausible one. There's other things out there we can do. Maybe we just go straight up Facebook Live. And then go from there with the people who are in the green room. But we will see what happens with all of this. This has been somewhat of my week, trying to figure this out, trying to do all this stuff. Without Johnny here, obviously, it's an interesting situation. We're going to see here what happens going forward. The downside, I guess, in all of this, one of the downsides in all of this is the sheer fact that I don't think Top Chat works. I don't think we're at a point we're at a point where I don't. Yeah, Top Chat does work. Well then, I don't know what the hell's going on. Thanks, AJ. I'm glad you can see it. Glad you can see the lack. Oh, and it's integrated right into the stream. I don't have to do anything. I don't even need to watch the video. I know it's good. I know it's crisp. It's clean. Your mama likes it. I don't know if she likes it or not. If she does, then great. So we will see how this goes. I like it. What part one's done. The Top Chat's going on. The Top Chat's happening. It's right there in my little corner here. I like that. I like that a lot. Another thing that's a going is the fact that we can go ahead and put things in the corner. So we can actually be a live newscast like right here. Like right there. Right there's a picture. I can put pictures over layers, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want it anymore. If I don't want it, I delete it. And it's done. It's gone. Out of your life, out of your world. Forever. Until I bring it back again. So this is good until it's not, obviously. This is a situation where we'll see how it goes. Top Chat's good. Lack of buffering, not there. Locked in 30 frames per second, which obviously for a talk show, probably way too many frames per second. And we'll just see what happens in the green room. If the green room adds up wonderfully, if we can get people in this green room and we can put them on the air, all the better. Then we're at a point now where things are happening for Face Off Hockey Show and for Lightstream on the YouTubes. Now, I did come into a little bit of a situation last night. If I do too much on the computer or too much is happening or whatnot, it slows it down. Obviously, trying to add camera layers, that'll do it. That'll do the whole situation. And obviously, we'll have to work out some kinks as it goes along, but we'll cross those bridges when we come to them. Preseason mode, kids. We're in preseason mode, and so should you. Don't expect anything of us. You haven't for the last 18 years. Why do it now? Why do it now? Why expect anything of us now when you didn't before? I will have to start my... Oh, damn. There's the rundown. No, that's from last week. There we go. That's the week. So we will go on from there. And luckily, I have a mount right here, rip roaring, ready to go. So how was your guys this week? How are things going with you? Great? Good. Wonderful. Things are fine just over in this side of things. I love it. This Lightstream thing is great. What did I do this? Did I do anything this weekend? No, I kind of just hung out. Had a little the Tears Walk in Grand Forks. Tears is for suicide prevention and awareness, and also survive for those who have survived people who have committed suicide. What foundation that I'm, I obviously champion, and it was really cool to see the many people out there. Craig Heisinger of the Winnipeg Jets and also of Project 11 up in Manitoba came to speak of the loss of Rick Rippon, and of course what Rick Rippon's quest was for a bit of a more safer world for middle school age kids. And yeah, it was a really cool event. Really interesting to see the people out there who have lost people due to suicide and who have had depressive and suicidal thoughts as well. Yours truly. I've not been shy to that in admitting that. So it was an interesting event. I highly recommend if you guys want to contribute to your local suicide prevention area, please do so. It's a great cause. And I think, especially here in a rural area where help is not really, I guess, widely available, you can do it. And it's really cool for everyone involved. So that's what I did on Sunday. Saturday, I think I just hung out and did some things. Black Bear season. The Maryland Black Bears are back. If you didn't check out the photos from Johnny P, Faceoff, Facebook.com/FOHS Radio, that's the play to do it. That's where you can do it, and we will have good things coming there. Honestly, 6 o'clock on a Wednesday, every time, without fail. If you can hear that, sorry. If you can't hear it, great. Then I'm just saying I'm hearing things. But in any case, that was my week. My weekend coming up is just basically Maryland Black Bears too. They're at the NAHL Showcase in Blaine, Minnesota. I'll be checking those out. Obviously today, didn't watch it because I have a day job. But at the same time, saw it, won 2-1, big victory. First victory of the year, much like they did last year. Got a victory in the first game of the good old showcase amongst everybody. So that was pretty cool to see happen. And then hopefully onward and upward. 1 down, 3 to go. Other than that, like I said, Johnny's in San Francisco. He's doing stuff there. He might be checking in from the West Coast piece. Don't know what's going to happen. We'll see I'll see in the updates on the Voxer whether or not they'll be able to get in or not. And also in my email, we're going to have a fun time. This could be a one-person show. We could get 5,000 people in. Who's to say? Night is young. You're so beautiful. G flat. It is weird without music. It's weird with just doing it by myself. Obviously, do the Chesapeake Hockey Week by myself, but that's a whole different animal in itself. Where I can stop, record, maybe go for a walk, chat with the cat. These things happen. And it is something where I can do it my own. I can do it all on my own. So I am interested to see what's going to happen with this, and because we're going to have like a producer. Johnny P is going to have to produce like he's never produced before. Like literally, he's going to have to start rearranging cameras and do stuff like this because, again, if you didn't see anything, we're going to have to do this when other people come on. Put it in quadrant mode. Quad box, everybody. We could quad box this whole thing up. Who's to say? We just have to find the right sizing of it, and then we can quad box it up, and then the next thing you know, just booyah, right back out again. Ooh, and I can go too wide too. Don't want to go too wide, kids, ladies and gentlemen. A congressman from Utah showed us that back in the day. Topical reference, Scotty. Bathroom humor. So without any music, without anybody to throw anything off of, we go right into the good old injury report. And don't have the music. Don't have the music hooked up here. Maybe sooner or later. What kind of layers can I add? Images, image slideshow, screen. I can screen share, microphone, RTMP source, third-party integration. It's crazy stuff you can do nowadays on the computer. Let's start off with a little injury report. We actually do have a lot of. We could use that for a Brady Bunch intro. You're right, Eddie. That'd be fantastic if we do and just have people looking up and down. And that's the thing. The funny thing is there's room for 8 people in here. The host plus 7. So, I mean, it does bring a point where we have to go ahead and, we have to go ahead and make sure things are a little bit kosher. We're always going to be on camera. I think we have to, unless we dump out of our own camera. But I don't know if our audio will be put on there. That's a new thing we'd have to figure out, too. So we will see how it goes. As my size right now is 1279 by 719, I'm sure some people might be freaking out over that because there's that one pixel of goodness that, people aren't seeing. It's fine, though. All right, some injuries. So already, the Anaheim Mighty Ducks are going to be down 2 players on the year. It was announced this week as training camps start to reconvene that Ryan Kessler is out for the season. That hip injury, he had surgery on it last year. A couple of years back, he's been affected by it for a while. He is done. Fait accompli. Could be the end of the line for him as well, considering these hip injuries don't get any better as you get older. We could do FOHS squares. That could have been a great game show. You're right. Damn it, AJ. You're on ball. Also, Patrick Eaves, who has post-viral syndrome, which was actually misdiagnosed as Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is like super fatigue, I believe. But post-viral syndrome, he's done for the entire season too. So the Anaheim Mighty Ducks already losing 2 veteran forwards, and Corey Perry is going to be reevaluated for some stuff. So the Ducks are doing great already this year. Life is coming at him pretty fast. Dallas Eakin is maybe regretting taking this job off the hop. Who's to say? But you can see a lot of the situation where the Ducks are going to go ahead now and bring their youth up, bring the San Diego Gulls up, bring their rookies along a little bit faster, kind of give them a taste. I'll see a lot of guys with the 9-game tryouts, I bet, before they get sent back to junior. We'll see how this all pans out. Going to be interesting to see how Dallas Eakin if he's actually the man for the job, if he was just screwed over by the Oilers, or if he's just not a great coach, or he's a good development coach, which I think Dave Haxtell is. I think Dave Haxtell, who's now with the Toronto Maple Leafs, is a good development coach. Where guys can move up levels, great, but at the same time, if they're not able to move up levels, if they peak out, they flop. And I think that's what Dave Haxtell's problem was in Philly. He's at the top. He was at the top level. He can't move these guys any further. Therefore, what does that do for business? It means that business is not good. It means that all in all, you're just another brick in the wall. And so we'll see how this all pans out for the Ducks. And speaking of the Ducks, a former Duck, Shea Theodore. Shea Theodore. Alvin Simon Shea Theodore. He announced at the Players Tribune that he had testicular cancer in the offseason, diagnosed with it. How about that? Pretty crazy. So he had that taken care of, and they're gonna monitor it through the season. Said he reached out to family and friends because he failed a test for, I think it was GHB or GHC, which is not THC, but GHC hormone that's usually found in women. So obviously the IIHF is like, you seem to have a penis. So they questioned that, and then the doctors there said, yeah, it could be testicular cancer as well. So he went to his doctor back home, got it checked out. They got the diagnosis, got the affected areas out there. Actually reached out to Phil the Thrill Kessel, who also had to deal with that at a young age. Theodore only 24 years old. So you reach out to a guy who's experienced it at that time. It's pretty. It's something. It's pretty good for him to have that kind of support system and have a guy who's one of his peers in the same kind of situation as him. And yeah, he got it fixed up, and hopefully he will be able to play well unmitigated throughout the rest of the season this year. So monologues, the great monologues. Patreon pick will be towards the end, and we'll get Lyle in on it too, because it's about contracts. It's about that action boss. It's about all that stuff that's in there. So we'll see about that when that comes to fruition. So let's get to some news and a big, interesting hit right now that just came out towards the beginning of last week, towards the end of last week, towards the weekend. We'll call it that. Dustin Byfuglien was granted a personal leave of absence from the Winnipeg Jets to deal with some things. And he also, reports came out today that he's mulling over retirement, which I that's an interesting situation. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that when you look at Dustin Byfuglien and think of the stuff that he's been able to do with his size, and then you have to wonder if it's his size. You know what I mean? If it's a guy where he has problems getting into shape, always has. He played the WHL at 300 pounds for the Brandon Wheat Kings. Dude was trucking, man. So I mean, it's a rough situation for him overall. So I think we'll see what happens with him moving forward. Obviously a freak of a man, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if hopefully it's not nothing big. Hopefully it's not, a family situation. Hopefully it's not something that's completely dangerous. So all the best to him, and I hope that he's able to go ahead and make the most of it, and maybe get back. And if he doesn't, if he needs to take a break, then he takes a break. That's fine. That's that you got to do. Andrew Luck did it this year, and he seems to be happier. There's a lot of guys. Gronkowski did it, and he seems to be a little bit happier as well. So a lot of younger guys that we see are going ahead and retiring early. I gotta shut. This is annoying as hell. Bright sun. Jesus Christ, that's annoying me. Right out the window every time. Should throw a Coke can out there. What am I saying? They're just doing their jobs. Why am I such an ass? So yeah, hopefully Byfuglien will go ahead and get what he needs, take care of what he needs to take care of, and then the game will be back for him when he's ready. Because I don't, a guy like Byfuglien, big-bodied, ready to go. I mean, he's someone that any team would want to, and obviously that's going to be a huge hit to the Winnipeg Jets blue line. But you got to roll with the punches, right? Got to move onward and upward with things. Yeah. moving forward with our news, moving upward and onward with that, NHLPA is not going to reopen the CBA, kids. Let's give them a round of applause. Huh? That means we got some labor peace for about 3 years. That's pretty good, don't you think? You got to like that. Huh? All right, maybe not. Who am I to? I am of the point now where I'm okay with labor peace. I'm okay with low key things happening. Just let it happen, right? Don't fake the funk. Gotta have that funk. Don't fake the funk. Gotta have that funk. So we'll see how this all pans out. 3 years down the line. I mean, luckily it's not going to be like 2 years from now, or I think the end of this year, September. That would have been a hell of a thing, right? Jesus, have a great season, and next thing you know, it's all gone to hell in a handbasket. Man, oh man, Shevitz. That would not be a great thing. That would not be a great thing for anybody involved. So I'm trying to crop an image here so we can bring it back up. Bring it up on a newfound Scotty screen share. Right? How about that? Close that. And this is the problem with everything. The problem with everything is that you have to go ahead and like do things on the fly. If you're not predetermined, then you're kind of effed, right? Oh, did that not save? It didn't. You sons of bitches. All right, save as. There we go. That's what I want. That's what I need. Also, not having someone to bounce things off of. That sucks too. See, if I was able to bounce something off someone, if I had Johnny P here on my wing, then obviously I'd be fine. But here we are. Oh, wow. That came like right over my face. All right. So some jersey news. St. Louis Blues unveiled their alternate jerseys. Something big happened that way. There it is. That is the new jersey of your St. Louis Blues, the new old jersey. As you can see, during the time where everyone in the 90s felt really, really, how can you say it? Really, really fucked up, honestly, because boy, howdy, is this something that, man, I don't know about, man. I don't know. I don't hate it. I'll preference it with that. I don't hate it. I don't hate it as much as I should. Because I like gaudy look. like gaudy uniforms. It's fine by me. But at the same time, I'm not entirely sure this is what I want in my life. I'm not entirely sure that something like this is necessary to bring back. What I would have loved to see is bring back the jersey that Mike Keenan didn't want. If you're going to go bullshit and gaudy, go all the way, right? Like, go all the way with it. Don't pussyfoot around it. Go all the way with it. Do that crazy ass trumpet thing, which I can't find on the fly. Sadly, I really need to, and this is going to make me prepared as I talk through this. And yes, I'm going to talk about things that I talk through. I'm going to have to bring my bits really quick and really fast. I can't really Scotty screen share as much as I had hoped for. So, yeah, but yeah, they're okay. Those jerseys are fine. I'm more apt to see how the numbers work in the back, how people are going to be pissed off at the numbers if they don't remember that jersey. So we'll see how this all pans out. Also, in other jersey news, the Heritage Classic jerseys were revealed. And if you know me, and some of you do, if you know me, I knew this was coming because everyone there is cowards. Everyone at the NHL is a bit of coward. And that's fine. I'm okay with it. You got to stick to things that sell, right? Go with what sells. Calgary Flames, obviously, Calgary Flames will take on the Winnipeg Jets in Regina, Saskatchewan in October. And here's the Calgary Flames jersey right there. Old school jerseys. The Nieuwendyk era, for some reason, it looks off. It looks very off, and I think it's the boxiness of the shoulders. Because back in the day, the Flames had the old shoulder, like the border around the shoulder yoke. It looks weird. Everything else looks fine. The shoulder looks weird. That shoulder right there. Hold on. Right there. Right there. That shoulder looks weird. So, should have been Atlanta Flames. Again, should have been Atlanta Flames. But here we are now as a human. The other one, and this is something that, of course, I mentioned the Battle of Atlanta. And, of course, the Battle of Atlanta is one that I wanted to happen. Then I realized I was doing research. The Thrasher name actually belongs to the Atlanta Spirit Corporation. Remember those guys? Yeah. The guys who ruined the Thrashers? Yeah, they own the rights to that. So it couldn't have been the Thrashers. They have the name, logo, and history. So the Winnipeg Jets had to go. And then, like I said, you go to ScottyWaz.com. I brought a thing about who owns the rights and who owns the lineage of history. And the Winnipeg Jets just take all the Winnipeg thing, even though most of the Winnipeg stuff belongs to Arizona. And it's ours now. So the Quebec City owns the Nordiques. The Avalanche don't give two shits about them. So here they are. So this is the Jets heritage jersey, obviously just a recolorization of their heritage jersey in 2016 when they played the Edmonton Oilers. Yeah, it's an okay jersey, I guess. It's the WHA style jerseys. Nothing to be mad at. Again, though, the WHA rights kind of technically belong to the Arizona Coyotes. So yeah, there's the jerseys there. That's your jersey news, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed it, because I sure enjoyed bringing it to you. Other news. So, some captaincy news. Logan Couture named the 10th captain of the San Jose Sharks. Obviously, Joe Pavelski going to Les Stars. Logan Couture, probably the next best thing in terms of guys who have been with the team for a while. I mean, you could say Joe Thornton, because everyone wants to have Joe Thornton there, but the Sharks are thinking, no, we're thinking long term. We're thinking a guy who's going to be there long term, and a guy who's been with us since day one of his career, not our career. That'd be like weird, but hard to believe it. But Joe Pavelski, Logan Couture, your captain, been with this team for looks like 9 years now. Long time, 507 points, 240 goals in 663 games. Coming off a career year this year, actually. 70 points, career high for Logan Couture in the NHL. 27 goals, 43 assists, equaling 70 points in 81 games. And he hasn't played a full season since 14-15. That's concerning, I'm sure, but he played 81 last year. Huzzah for that. And we'll see how that moves on from there. Brendan Shanahan said that he believes the Toronto Maple Leafs will have a captain this year. So if Shanahan says it, then you got to know it's something good is on the horizon. Something good is going to happen. And we'll see how that goes. Obviously, Austin Matthews has been stumping for it. John Tavares is obviously a pick that some people are going to say, oh, he should because he was a captain of the Islanders. And then again, maybe Mitch Marner. That'd be great if Mitch Marner gets a new contract and gets the captaincy. That would be fantastic. We'll talk about Mitch Marner, guys. Don't worry about it. We're talking about him sooner rather than later. And by sooner, I mean sooner as possible, because we get ourselves a situation where Lyle Richardson will be on. And we'll talk all about that. So Evgeny Kuznetsov, boy, does Evgeny Kuznetsov like that snow, doesn't he? Not just Informer, because the 12 inches of snow CD that Informer was on. He's in love with the cocoa, apparently, or was in love with the cocoa. And the NHL saw this, and the NHL, of course, does not test for the cocaine for some reason. He got busted by the IIHF. It was a whole big thing. And now the NHL has suspended him for 3 games at the beginning of the season due to contract stuff detrimental to the league. Thank you. There it is. Conduct detrimental to the league. Ta-da. It had to happen. It's something the NHL obviously needed to do. Well, I don't know if it's obvious because it's not a drug ban from the NHL. It's not a obvious thing where they test for cocaine and they're going to put cocaine on there. So yeah, I don't know if it was that obvious. Whether or not he appeals, probably not. I don't think he is, but at the same time, yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it all prompts him to go from there. And if he does go from there, we'll does decide to go ahead and fight it. We'll see if he fights for his right to party. All right? Party. Also in some news, Stan Mikita apparently had signs of CTE. Yeah, so, and it's weird because Stan Mikita actually wore that big, dumb Northland helmet. He had that big bucket on there, but still had the signs of CTE. Obviously, he passed due to, I believe, Alzheimer's, perhaps, I think, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. Big drink there. And, yeah, we'll see how that happens. I'm going to test this out. Am I backwards? No, I'm forwards. All right, cool. I think that I'm looking at myself. I'm looking backwards, like, because when I do the show, normally I'm usually backwards on the Hangouts, where the thing is flipped, but apparently not. Lower body dementia. I hope you meant to say lower body dementia, not Louis body, because I know a kid named Louis, and his body is literally skin and bones. Like it's bizarre. Wait. AJ brings up a good point. Or sorry, Brian brings up a good point. Wayne's World. Yeah, the donuts guy. It could have been diabetes all along. Could have been diabetes all along. Who's to say? Me. That's who's to say. I'm gonna say no. He didn't have. It wasn't the diabetes. I think. I'm trying to think. Someone had the Stan Mikita statue out on their lawn. I can't remember who it was. Should yell to Jen to get in. No, Jen's sick. She's not feeling well. Stan Mikita's Donuts statue. There it is. I'm trying to think of the word for it. Like, no, it's not standee. It's a statue. Come on. Oh, it's bar down. By the way, TSN's bar down. Probably hot garbage. Okay, nothing about the statue. It's just a stupid thing about how they're rebranding it. So yeah, good old Stan Mikita's Donuts. That's a hell of a nod. That was a hell of a nod for that time, wasn't it? Hey, Chris is here. Thanks, Brian. Brian made a point that I had a serotonin joke. Well, that's pinned to my Twitter, twitter.com/@ScottyWaz. And it was a good joke. It was a good line. I enjoyed my own line. So there's that. Boy, it's lonely here at the top. Kind of want Mark with a C to join in. Kind of wait for him to hang out and see where he's at. Mrs. Face, Mrs. Scent. It's everything about him. If you're down for the clown, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna pimp the Patreon before our Patreon pick. Card break, new card break out on the Face Off Hockey Show Patreon on all the tiers. If you get to that $5 tier, and the $5 people, some people possibly in this chat right now have not put their address to get their beautiful card packs. Their rando card packs. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Get on the card packs, kids. Get on that K-Packs. Get on that Kevin Spacey-ish. Ladies and gentlemen. And we'll go from there. 34 minutes, not a sign of Betanzo. Not even a text from him. Not even a text from the Betanzos. Should yell at Lyle just to come on right now so we can see if we can test this out. In fact, that's what I will do. So we'll get on my little tablet device, and by tablet device, I mean burp. I mean my phone on a pedestal or an easel stand, depending upon how you are. Oh man, do I not know how to use technology or what? I think Johnny's actually still working. Anytime anyone wants to come on, pop in. Please do. Call for help. The desperation is showing. 35-minute monologue about nothing in particular. And I thank you guys in the chat for staying with me. Haven't done the Patreon pick because there's none of us hosts are here, and I'm just debating myself. That's not fun. I need a Kornheiser Wilbon situation. I need someone to help quell this, so I'm not pausing for drink breaks. But here we are, as a people. But yeah, I got a boatload of cards to just give away to people. And again, I'm trying to work on this the actual one-time thing. Thanks, buddy. One-time thing for you guys, just buy a pack and then away you go with your lives. Chris likes my mug. I bought this at a good old wrestling live event, and half these guys aren't even here anymore. There you go. Look at all that. Live event was like $5 for this thing, and then $5 for a 20-ounce soda. They really know where to get. They don't even fill it with soda. They actually just give you the cup. The Alaris Center, top-notch pricing right there. I have a lot of just bad. I had a lot of mugs in here. I really got to clean up my room. Yeah, so got that going for us. What else is going on the news today? Sean Leahy put something out. I got to find Sean Leahy's Twitter because I think they did the player engagement. Now, the player engagement is always my favorite part of the life. Of the life? Yeah, of the life. Because they're just wacky, dumb bullshit things that they put out there for the NHLPA. God damn it. Player media tour. Who more loves the recognition? All right, everyone loves Alexander. Oh, Line A and Rantanen not close to new contracts. That's not great. That's not great for anybody involved. Carl Yastrzemski? I thought Leahy had something. Or was that just the media tour? I thought there was a player engagement. There was a player. The NBC player survey. The NBC player survey. NBCSN getting ready for everything. Can I mute that site? Because I know NBC Sports has freaking just video that you don't care about that they're going to pop in there. So there we go. It's loading forever. It takes forever to load in NBC. Sean Leahy's got to fix that. Sean Leahy's got to fix that in a big way. What is this? Oh, delete that. And I will delete this. There we go. Yeah, we'll field questions. Throw questions out there. If you got questions in the live chat, if you're watching questions in the live chat, give us questions in the live chat. I would love questions in the live chat. They're just asking. It's not an actual poll. It's just it's not a survey. Can we school Sean Leahy on what the fuck a survey is? Because a survey, in actuality, is it's actually you have a questionnaire and then you survey that way. So there's things, and it loading too long, and obviously everyone wants to get rid of the escrow. Offsides challenge was another one. But it takes too long to load, so honestly, it can go fuck itself. So I love Sean Leahy. He needs better. His website needs to be better. Travels something. Offensive setter, choose what circle its face-off dots on. 2 more games in Sweden. What? They do an underrated player. Sam Bennett. Oh, like to make the nets bigger. Dylan Larkin actually had one 3-on-3 to 10 minutes. Fair enough. Yeah. Interesting situation. Chris, question, is this the season Winnipeg misses the playoffs? Yes. especially with the big buff retirement idea, especially with what's going on with Patrick Laine. You don't know what's happening with Connor Hellebuyck. I mean, Hellebuyck was lights out 2 years ago. Last year, he was just ordinary. I think that when you look at this team, they're almost at they have a good young core, and I think that other teams are passing them by. I think that other teams in the Central are passing them. I think that the Blackhawks will be a little bit better this year, especially when you have someone like Robin Lehner there, who's going to want to prove himself, and Corey Crawford, who is inevitably going to get injured. I think that he is going to be pushed really hard. Pushed, just by Robin Lehner, who coming up off a freaking Vezina trophy or a Masterson trophy. Pete's sake. Did he win the Vezina? Who won the Vezina this year? Anyway, when you look at the depth chart, it'll be a huge drop off, though. I mean, they were second in the division with 47 wins last year. I mean, they got the talent there. Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor, Blake Wheeler, Josh Morrissey just re-signed. Brian Little's there on the second one. Nick Ayler, Patrick Laine, who knows what's going on with him. Then it kind of drops off a little. Jack Roslovic, we don't know what he is, on all honesty. I mean, he's a speedy forward. Is Adam Lowry going to overtake him for third? Is Mark Letestu going to overtake him for bottom six? Is Roslovic just going to be bouncing between locker rooms? Matthew Perreault, Andrew Comp on the left wing side. Left wing's not that deep. Christian Vesalainen, he could make something. He obviously could be thrown into the fire if Patrick Laine doesn't get signed or get traded. Defense, Dmitry Kulikov's a hand. Sami Niku, I think, overall is a guy they can get with. Neil Pionk, I think there's a lot of people who are worried about him, and I can't see there. Thank you, Vasilevsky won the Vezina. I'm like, yeah, no, it wasn't him. He won the freaking Masters, and he had the big award that doesn't have the thing, and they spelled his name wrong or spelled his team wrong. Central Division, you look at it. I got allergies, folks. I'm not Evgeny Kuznetsoving. I think the Avalanche are going to be better. Of course, again, depending upon what happens with Mikko Rantanen, although I think they got better. I think the Stars got a little bit better too. I think the Wild are trash. I think the Blues and the Predators will get in. So those are 4 teams right there. Blackhawks may be underlying. And again, it's really about, I think, how well Connor Hellebuyck can do. If Connor Hellebuyck is trash again, their backup is Laurent Brossoit and Eric Comrie. Those are 2 guys I don't think are good backups. Comrie's been in the AHL forever and a day. Laurent Brossoit, he's been bounced around between Edmonton and Calgary, still hasn't been able to make landfall at either of those teams. So that should tell you something about his ability to play the game when he bounces back and forth between them and can't get a signed roster spot. So I think Winnipeg is a team that is on the decline. And yeah, we will see what happens when they're able to go. If they're able to go and make things palpable for themselves. Anybody else's camera on? Nope, no one's camera's on. There's no guest camera. And I know I'm lagging like a son of a bitch now because of I had to bring up the camera stuff for other people. And that lags the camera. That's one of the things I don't like about it is that some of the things that you try to add on here does lag a camera a little bit. So it is what it is. Like I said, try and first late stream, and we'll see what goes on from there. More questions for Scotty. Questions for Scotty. If you got them in the chat there. Yeah, we are just moving around. Have you been watching preseason hockey? I haven't. I've had no need to. I don't think I need to watch preseason hockey. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm a curmudgeon, but I honestly don't think that preseason hockey and me go well together. I don't know. Everyone's hyped about it. They're getting rid of the. Is it October yet? That's great. Good. You finally got your stuff. You can watch guys battle for bottom 6 or AHL spots. So, not for me. If you go to the games, cool. I can't fault you. The prices are right. You're going to be able to see your team, or you're going to see a team in your favorite team's uniform. May not necessarily be the team that you are all about, but we'll see what happens, and you get to enjoy a game. Question from AJ, and then we'll get to another Chris question. AJ, where do you think the Panthers are going to go in the Atlantic? I can see them battling for a wild card spot because you deductive reasoning. You got to figure the Lightning and Bruins are going to be the top 2 tier. I think that goes without saying. The Maple Leafs then dependent upon their defense and goaltending. I don't have faith in the Canadiens. Obviously, the Senators are trash. I think the Panthers will be in that fight, maybe for a wild card spot or third in the division. Bobrovsky, a huge upgrade. I mean, I think that's something they need it in a big way because the good goaltending is invaluable for a team that hasn't had good goaltending in a while. And I think the young stars, if they're healthy, can really jump up. Therein lies the hook. If they're healthy, if they're not healthy, obviously you're going up Schitt's Creek a little bit. But Barkov, Huberdeau, and Dadonov, huge. Trocheck, Hoffman. We got to see what Owen Tippett is. We got to find out what Owen Tippett is. Everyone's saying this kid's the real deal, Holyfield. We got to see what he's about. Hendrik Borgstrom, I think, doesn't get enough credit either for what he does. And Frankie Vetrano is a guy who was the hot hand in Boston and then just kind of fell out of favor when he made it to the NHL. So, excuse me. So that's interesting there. Defense, they're okay, I guess. Yandel and Ekblad, okay. Mike Matheson, Strawman, okay. Mark Prissick, Mackenzie Wagner, Josh Brown, Ian McCoshen. I don't know. Kind of interesting, but I think they'll fight for that third spot and then the wild card spot too. I believe in the Panthers. I believe in the Panthers right now, but of course I believed in the Hurricanes a couple years ago, and it took 3 years for them to flourish. So, who's to say? How many verbal crutches have you been seeing? Huh? You see all the verbal crutches I do when I'm trying to do a goddamn hour of radio? Chris says, is there a rivalry that's going to be more entertaining than New York Rangers and New Jersey Devils? Here's a loaded question. What constitutes a rivalry if one team beats the other constantly? And if it's trash hockey, is it still a rivalry? You could say that while the Pens and Caps are a rivalry, when they were both dog shit, it wasn't that great hockey to watch. I think it's going to be interesting just for the Hughes and Capo fight, akin to Ovi and Sid when those teams were terrible and that was the only thing worth watching. That probably will be the most entertaining. That the most entertaining part is the comparisons and everything like that. Other rivalries out there. What rivalries I think? Man. The Hurricanes against everybody, I think, is one. That's a good one. Out west, I think just for the sheer fact that you have two young rookies that went 1-2, I think that you're going to be able to have that as an entertaining rivalry, a rivalry that you want to go ahead and watch 99 out. That said, it's going to be amplified by 1,000 because it's in the New York metro market. And obviously things like that tend to go overboard. And when it goes overboard, it goes really overboard, and away they go. I have been all about that base in terms of, if New York media didn't exist, would people actually care about it? Who's to say? If New York media, it's the same with Toronto. Toronto, Boston will be an entertaining one just for everything else. Carolina, Montreal will be entertaining just for people to remember Sebastian Aho got offer sheeted. So that's something. I mean, other than that, there's not really many rivalries that aren't already embedded. Because I would say that yeah, I don't know. It could be. I'm talking myself into this rivalry, actually. Maybe Columbus and themselves. That would be a good rivalry to watch, since they've lost everybody. Yeah, maybe. I will give the nod to the Rangers and Devils for the sheer fact that the hype beast that is the New York media and their love, not for Coke, that's Kuznetsov. Their love for just blowing things out of proportion. That's what is necessary. I think that's the thing that's going to blow it out of the water overall. Oh man. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, hold on a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on. We're bringing this here. We're bringing this quad box here. Can I add this to scene? Can I add Mr. the man, the myth, the legend? I am actually trying here to get this. It's gonna lag. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, we're gonna add this right here. Add it to the scene. Oh, there's Lyle. Lyle's little. You can hear Lyle. You can't see him necessarily. All right. Well, I'm gonna send this to live right now so I can get my stuff going. Hi, Lyle. Welcome to this new adventure. Can you hear me, Lyle? Lyle, you got me? Lyle? Lyle? Hold on. Hold on. 1 minute. Hold on. Hold on. We're almost there. All right. Lyle, can you hear me? Lyle, are you there? Danny, are you okay? Can you hear me, Lyle? How do I do this? This is quite fantastic. I don't know if he can hear me. I guess he can't hear me. What is Lyle's webcam going? Can I fuck with Lyle's scenario? All right. We can see Lyle. We can see Lyle. We can see him and hear him. We can see and hear you. This is all the bugs. We can see and hear Lyle. That much we know. But how can I change the world? And if you guys can see and hear Lyle, please let me know in the chat. Nope, that's muting Lyle. That's uploading Lyle. Saying I'm on standby. Hang tight. I'll be here soon. How am I? Bizarre.
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me through my headset or no?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, Lyle. I can hear you just fine.
I'm seeing you in the window called Stream Output, but I'm here in the studio. I can't hear you.
Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. Let's see if we're working out kinks in a big way here. This is fun. This is fun. This is fun.
Should I leave and come back in?
Yeah, let's try that. I'm trying to see what the stream output is. See Lyle, Judge Lyle. So that now we have vacant camera. There we go. All right. So we're gonna see what happens. Lyle join the room again. Can I join Lyle? Can Lyle join us? Do we have Lyle Richardson on the chat?
Can you hear me or see me?
I can hear you, Lyle. Can you hear me? Lyle's webcam inactive. What are you doing? Oh, activate? Can I activate? Can I activate? Activate for me, you brutal whore. Oh, light stream. When you're just great enough. All right. Hold on. You know what I would love right now? A fucking producer. I would love that right now. We need to pay some guy to produce this show. All right, let's see if I can. Can I mute Lyle's mic? All right, I'm gonna mute you for a second. All right. How do I do this? How do I add? Can I just let me dump this? So Lyle's in the green room. No, all right. Can I add the scene? This is fun. This is fun, kids. All right, Lyle's. We're gonna put Lyle here. Gonna put Lyle there. Put Lyle next to me, holding hands, touching hands, and then touching you, touching me, touching you. Oh God, there's lines everywhere. What am I doing? Can I activate Lyle's ish? Ta? Huh? No? Nothing? Nothing? Here's the weird thing: is we can see and hear Lyle. Is if we feed Lyle questions, we can get him. And obviously, I am. That's weird. This thing sucks. How do I add this? Hold on. All right. So once the guest has joined the game room, into their project, add to scene option. Okay. Let me hold on. Let me hold on. Let's see. Oh, fucking weird. That's kind of savage, Lyle. All right. Can you hear me now, Lyle? No. What the fuck? All right. See, this is why we need production value, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we need some help. Fuck. Do I make Lyle go live? Check your mic on the green room. See if you're muted in there. How do I get into the green room? Can I join my own green room?
God, I just heard you, and there you are.
Hi, Lyle.
Hey.
So apparently, what needs to happen is I need to put my stuff on the green room. Chris, a big win on that one.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris is the
Okay.
tech guy. If you guys can hear me and Lyle, please let us know.
Yes, please.
Welcome to this new adventure, Lyle.
And is it just me and you, Scotty? Is that the Dealy Boo? Because I see Johnny's out west hanging, doing things.
Yeah, Johnny's on the West Coast, and it's just me and you. We're just hanging out here.
Okay. I agree. AJ, Chris is the show MVP.
Yeah, Chris gets the big winner award.
Yes.
But this problems aside, Lyle. Problems aside, this is a great thing we're dealing with here. It's seems a lot better.
Yeah,
I think so.
So far, so
there's
good.
little buffering. There's
but it's better than nothing.
It's true.
Better than the all audio show that we did last week, which is kind of shades of Face Off Hockey Show version 2.2 or whatever version it was at that time.
It was a lot of shows that we've done.
Yeah, a lot of them on the phone too. Yeah.
Those shows were fun. Those audio shows were great. And
Yeah.
So, are you hearing me okay? Because I'm
Yeah.
Okay,
And
good. Wonderful.
how am I coming in? Fine.
You're sounding great. You're sounding like now. The fun thing with this, Lyle. The fun thing
Uh-oh.
with this.
Okay.
It was a great thing. The Scotty screen share was great. We all loved it. We all cared for it, and now we have motherfucker.
Oh, motherfucker.
Oh, it's been deleted. What are you deleting stuff for? Don't delete stuff, Lightstream. I'm trying to show off cool new things, and you're banging me in the ass.
A lot of kinks to work out. A lot of kinks.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here we go. So hold on, Lyle. Hold on. See what I can do, Lyle. Is if I can send. I don't know if you can see this. If I send this to Lime, if I update this stream, can you see a Calgary Flames jersey there?
I certainly can. The
Good.
Number 19C, yes.
Yeah, we've been fucking around with this. We can do layers over top of things like a news broadcast.
That is fantastic.
Like if I wanted to be really cheeky, I could put this just like random Flames jersey over. All right, it's lagging. It's lagging because there's too many people here, and by too many people, it's just me and you. So I can bring this Flames thing here, and it's right by my head.
Look at that.
It's right here by my head.
There you go. Absolutely, and above mine. I can. Yeah. I can look up at it and wait. There we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
So welcome to this new thing. Yeah, Johnny's out west. Mark is incognito. As usual.
Guy incognito.
Yeah. Obviously, all I needed to do was go ahead and join myself to my own green room, and then we were fine.
Oh, okay.
And that's what went wrong. Is Scotty doesn't know how to produce because it's been a while.
Oh dear.
And you have to actually produce some things because it's like you have to be able to, when a guest comes in, minimize your screen, maximize their area.
You're gonna maximize my area. Yeah, that sounds cheeky.
Ladies. So what might have to happen is Johnny P might have to do a 2 computer set, but one's just a control computer. So. And then he'll be producer to the stars.
Is he back next week, or is he gone for a while?
As far as I know, I think he's back next week. Oracle's only sending him out for the week, and then they're coming back.
Okay.
But yeah, welcome. Let's see. Hold on. Mark says, "Sorry, give him 2 steps. Give me 2 steps. Miss 10 minutes." All right. So Mark said he was going to be at 7:45. It is now 8:03 on the East Coast. 18 minutes late, and he wants 10 more.
Okay.
So we'll see how it happens.
Such a diva.
Right? Man, I really need like a Face Off Hockey Show logo here, but we'll have Mark in soon, and then we'll have that going on there. All right, Lyle. So we'll wait till Mark gets in and talk about our Patreon stuff. Because we got a thing that I wanted to talk to you about, and me going back and forth with myself about the Patreon pick, probably a silly situation. So, Mitch Marner, huh?
Yeah. And after we were told that, this could get ugly and lengthy and nasty and hateful, and then all of a sudden, 6 years and almost 11 million. Not quite, but almost 11 million, which is pretty much what they were prepared to pay him anyway. So,
yeah. What does this do overall for the Leafs? Does it hamstring them a little bit? Does it make it harder for them to get people and exist as a whole corporation?
Not quite sure with that, man.
Me neither.
Well, I mean, Kyle Dubas will continue to be the finest cap juggler in the NHL. He'll put Nathan Horton and David Clarkson on long-term injury reserve. He'll probably demote a couple of extra players down in the minors, and he'll have just enough room to squeak it in there. And to be under the cap when the season opens. Who knows? Maybe he might surprise us even further and trade somebody. But it's going to be tight. You'll even get a little bit more LTIR relief with Zach Hyman and Travis Dermott on LTIR to start the season too. But he'll have to free up their salary, the equivalent of their salaries when they come back to action. But again, it'll be tight, but it'll be workable for this season.
Obviously, Leaf fans so happy about this. Hey, we told you we could get it done.
Yeah, and they were after they were chastising that's just putting it lightly, chastising Mitch Marner for holding out. Trade his greedy ass. Him and his dad. Trade him to a melting ice floe off Greenland.
Yeah, I don't get the dad thing. Why they're bringing him into it?
Because apparently his dad has spouted off a couple of times in the media about what he feels his son's value is. And quite frankly, so what? He's not saying anything that somebody like myself said. I said Mitch Marner was worth 11 mil a season. Of course the boy deserves to get paid. Why should he take 8 million or 9 million like Leafs fans were suggesting? When Austin Matthews and John Tavares, makes more, but yet he contributes every bit as much. I mean, are people forgetting he was their leading scorer in each of the last 2 seasons? Now, granted, yes, Austin Matthews was hurt, and Matthews hadn't been hurt. He probably would have been the leading scorer, but that would have made Marner second, right? So, ergo, he kind of sort of worth the money. Why should he be making 8.5 mil or 9 mil as some people say? He should give them a hometown discount. Oh, but Austin Matthews, that was okay. Yeah, let's throw a boatload of money at him. And let's throw a boatload of money at John Tavares to convince him to leave the New York Islanders and come here, even though it's going to handcuff us. And again, I don't fault John Tavares, but I said this at the start, and I'm not changing my mind. That was a contract the Leafs did not need to sign. So there you were. But no, I mean, that's why they were popping off at Marner's dad, just because he was saying out loud what a lot of Marner supporters believed. And I'm not a fan of Mitch Marner, but I believe, people should get paid what they're worth. Guy's been your leading scorer in each of the last 2 seasons. He hit over 90 points. He was the first Leaf to do that since Matt Sundin almost 20 years ago. I mean, yeah, damn right he deserves to get paid almost 11 mil a season.
Yeah, go off, brother. I can't fault him for that.
No. No, it's not.
Why would you?
It's not his fault that Kyle Dubas saw a shiny thing called John Tavares and threw 11 mil a season at it for 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was necessary. I don't
know. They didn't need him. And that's not a knock against John Tavares. John Tavares has played fantastic. He's done everything that the Leafs want him to do. I am not faulting John Tavares or angry at John Tavares and in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying the Leafs didn't need him. Okay, the Leafs needed to bolster their defense. You want to look at where the Leafs' problems were? Hello, look at their blue line for the last 2 seasons, and it's going to be a problem again this year. Maybe not quite as bad this season because they shorted up on the right side. I think Tyson Barrie and Cody Ceci are an improvement over Ron Hainsey and Nikita Zaitsev, but that's only going to be for 1 year. Unless, once again, Kyle Dubas gets real creative because Tyson Barrie is going to be getting paid next year as a UFA. And, you're going to lose Jake Muzzin or pay him, because he's a UFA. I mean, he's going to be juggling cap space again next year. I mean, he's proven that he's able to do it, and he's been able to swing some deals and actually come out of it, making his team look better than it did before. I mean, I think the Leafs going into this season are better than the version they had last season. I like the moves that Kyle Dubas made this year, but he's going to have, how long can he keep juggling like this, to make things work? He's going to be, he's going to lose 2 even bigger pieces potentially next year in Muzzin and Barrie off his blue line. So,
is Freddie Anderson for real? Like, we talk about their defense and their goaltending. Is Freddie Anderson a guy that we can hang our hats on?
Oh, absolutely. He just needs a better defense. I really do. Yeah, I think he is for real, but they at least just keep burning him out.
Yeah.
They do. Even if you get past the first round, the workload that he sees, I mean, how much gas he gonna have left in the tank if you're looking for a deep playoff run? You gotta improve that blue line in front of him. So hopefully this year it's better. Hopefully they can cut down on his workload a bit. And they really, but also to be fair too, last season, I mean, Garrett Sparks really did not work out well for them as a backup. That was one mistake that Kyle Dubas made. He bet the farm on Garrett Sparks as the backup and let McElhinney go, and that was one instance where Mike Babcock was right. Should have kept McElhinney.
Sure.
But Garrett Sparks helped the Marlies win the Calder Cup last summer, and of course Dubas, largely built that team. That was his team. So of course he was enamored with his boys, and he figured Garrett Sparks was going to be it. Even though Sparks had a terrible preseason and training camp last year, he did not play well. McElhinney was definitely the better of the two, and Babcock said so. And yeah. So that didn't help, that he didn't have a good backup. Now they got Hutchinson in there. Neuwirth, though, he missed a little bit of time with body soreness, which for a guy who's injured as often as he is, could be anything from a hangnail to a massive head wound. Who can say? But anyway. But if they can get Anderson a better backup, somebody who can get in, I'd say 20-25 games and really spell him off when he needs it, that could help too.
Marner declined 2 offer sheets allegedly from the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Minnesota Wild, which I don't blame him for.
Well, the Wild one, and I saw that too. That came from Matthew Barnaby, and no offense to Barnaby. The Blue Jackets one, I could certainly see that one, but the Wild, Michael Russo, the Athletic, shot that down, and he is very well connected within the Wild organization. He said he spoke to people about that, and he said there was absolutely no truth to that. He said the math alone, it didn't work. There was no way. The math, the numbers.
That said, if true, I don't blame him. Like those two teams are not that great.
Yeah, no, no. But he wanted to stay in Toronto, and he wanted to stay in Toronto. He just wants to get paid fair value to stay there, and I don't blame him. Leafs fans, rejoice! You got, you've got over $40 million tied up in 4 forwards. Let's not forget Nylander as well. But hey, if Dubas can successfully juggle up his rosters again next summer and keep the team competitive, well, it'll be worth it.
I find that that's the best thing, is that everyone's like, oh, we should have a hometown discount. Yeah, you guys hyped him up to be a $15 million guy, and now you want to have a hometown discount? Go fuck yourself.
I love this nonsense. Anytime you see that, especially with the younger players, guys, like I said, like Marner, who are just, their careers are taken off already, and they're only going to get better. Oh, yes, but he should take a hometown discount. He should stay. He doesn't owe the team shit. Okay, sorry. What he owes them is to go out to be the best player he can be. Okay, but if he's going to go and be the best player he can be, why should he take less than comparable guys around the league? This is hockey. This is the business of hockey. And okay, most people who've been following this, we've had a salary cap for 15 friggin' years now. Okay, we all know how this works. Yes, sometimes the business of hockey gets ugly. Once in a blue moon, you'll see a player take the supposed hometown discount, but in most cases they don't, and nor should they. And even if you take a hometown discount, it's only going to be for a couple of years, and then it's like, okay, paid now, lots now.
When he does this thing with his hands, it means the money.
Yeah. Make it rain, Kyle Dubas. Make it rain.
Indeed.
Hey, nice logo.
I throw it up in there. Nice, I figured we're only going to have like 2 if Mark does decide to find a way in here. Which, if you're scoring at home or even if you're alone, we're 11 minutes, and still nothing.
Family man life. Fun.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Hey.
But also Brock Besser, after a week here in Grand Forks, has said, hey, Vancouver's a little better. 3 years, $17.63 million. One of the 2 bridge deals that came out, including Charlie McAvoy, 3 years, 4.9 AAV on that deal there. What can you say about a bridge deal, Lyle, that you haven't said about previous bridge deals?
What I can say about those two that you mentioned actually is something very, very interesting, and that yes,
It's that sweet, sweet qualifying offer.
yeah, oh, absolutely, and that's the latest twist, and it's brilliant when you think about it. It really is. And it actually started. It goes back to the start of the start of the summer or the free agent period with Timo Meyer actually in San Jose because he signed. His was a 4-year deal, I believe. Yes, his was a 4-year
Yep.
deal, and it came in, I believe, around 5, 6, 5, 8 was the AAV, but the tail end of the actual salary jumps to 10 million in actual salary in the final season. So he does them a favor by agreeing to take a lesser, annual cap hit. But in actual dollars, I mean, that's a big raise he's getting at the end of it, which means his qualifying offer is going to be $10 million. So he better be, he better be playing up to that, or else, it could get a little sticky for him in that final season. But we didn't see anything comparable to that until Zach Werenski actually signing last week, and his was sort of the same thing. Had an annual average value which was, I think, just around $5 million a season, but the actual salary in the final year, and his was a 3-year deal, I believe, jumps to $7 million. Then you see McAvoy's, I think, was 7.3, and your boy Brock Besser comes in at 7.5. But there's an interesting twist in there, though, on top of this twist. If the team doesn't want to pay him that big qualifying offer, you can do one of two things. If the player's no good, or, if his, performance actually tumbles big time, well, then you just don't send him a qualifying offer. He'll become an unrestricted free agent on July 1st, which means you run the risk of losing him if you can't renegotiate. But if you're willing to do that, well, if he does walk, if his performance is not anywhere near what you thought it would be, well, then probably no harm, no foul at that point. But the other way around it, if you really want to keep the guy, is you could file for the team could take him to arbitration. Okay. And if the team takes into arbitration, then you're not paying the full qualifying offer, but you have to make your pitch has to basically be 85% of it. So the way I understand it with Brock Besser's, if the Canucks don't want to pay 7.5 mil, it comes in at 637, I believe it is, at 85% of that. Again, though, the problem with that, I mean, if you end up if you can't work out a new contract with him and it goes to arbitration, the arbiter could side with you, but the other risk is he could side with the player. So in which case it could be much more than 7.5 mil a season. So a bit of a risk in there too. But it's an interesting twist, and yeah. Yeah, if the player like Besser turns out to be worth 7.5 mil a season, well, then yeah, you have no problem making that qualifying offer for 7.5 mil. But he'll probably turn around and want much more by that point. But still, either way, guaranteed a big payday.
Straight cash homie, I think, is what the kids like to say.
Yeah, and I think you could see a lot more of this, but it's going to depend on what happens with the CBA negotiations. Because apparently, this has just all been part of the regular negotiation, but apparently the league, i.e. Gary Bettman, has let it be known that he does not like the heavily front-loaded deals. He doesn't like these contracts that are also really heavy in signing bonuses, not because he considers it cap circumvention, but because he considers it cash over cap, which therefore drives up the escrow payments to the players, okay, or the escrow clawbacks, okay? So I dare say if he's not happy with heavily front-loaded deals, or deals that are heavy with signing bonuses, he might frown on these bridge deals where the qualifying offer is really big at the end of it, because the final year of actual salary is really big. So that will be interesting to watch. It's going to be interesting to see if that'll be allowed to continue when they extend the CBA, because that's what it'll be. It'll be an extension, not a brand spanking new one.
Right.
Yeah.
And that'll be a fun thing to see. All right. Well,
Mm.
can they? And you're a resident CBAologist. Can they revise it so, like, if they get rid of escrow, they can stop this backloaded thing?
The problem is, first of all, the problem is you're not going to get rid of escrow, and the players know it. Yeah, escrow is here to stay because escrow helps balance out that 50-50 split.
Mm-hmm.
What they want to do is they want to come up with a formula to just reduce it. One way that they could look at that is a lower calculation to keep it under 10%, maybe around 7%. But if you do that, then you got to find a way to come up with the extra dollars to offset that loss, because then you're going to have an imbalance again. Another way they could do it is they could turn around and just agree to keep the salary cap artificially lower. In other words, they mutually agree that, okay, look, if revenue works out to be that would bring the cap up to, say, 85 million for next season, well, let's keep it at, say, 82.5 or 83. That way, there won't be the escrow clawbacks won't be as bad. They're actually talking. I guess they're talking about keeping the cap pretty much almost flat for the next 2 seasons, because they're looking forward to 2 big things on the horizon. One is the new U.S. national TV contract that they're going to be negotiating, which I was reading somewhere could be worth as much as 8 times more than the current deal is. So that's going to be big money.
Is that 1.6 billion? Am I doing my math correctly?
What's the current one now? What's the current?
Is it 200,000? Is it 200 million? 200,000?
200.
Can I purchase the rights?
I think you're right.
If I take out a home loan, can I get the rights to the NHL in the U.S.?
I think it's around 250 million. I'd have to look it up here.
So 8 times that's in the billions.
Yeah, that could be over the billion, because the hockey's starting to, the business of hockey is booming again. Believe it or not, it is. And viewership is up around the United States. So this is an opportunity for them to really make a lot of money. Could also be maybe a deal that also kind of helps bring ESPN back into the fold too. Not as the main broadcaster, but maybe you start seeing more games maybe on the Deuce again or something like that. Bring our buddy Buccigross back to help host that. Him and Ray Ferraro.
Let's not say we did.
But regardless, but one of the things is the TV deal. The other thing is Seattle. Seattle coming in, brand new expansion franchise with the big expansion ka-ching. And then also, there's also going to be additional new revenue coming in from this whole puck tracking technology, because that's going to be used for as part of legalized gambling now. So that will bring in another lucrative revenue stream. So that's what they're looking at over the next 2 to 3 years. And so there's talk that, okay, they could keep it as a flat cap at where it is right now, basically 81.5, maybe nudge it up to 82 mil, keep it there for 2 years. And then when those new contracts come in, ba-boom, they could go that route. So they're kicking around some ideas. Apparently, that's what the reports that I've read. That's some of the ideas they're looking at.
Interesting.
So yeah, but on the other side of the coin here too, I mean, if the league's going to give on escrow or find some way around that, they're also going to have to. The players might have to give back a bit here too. And again, maybe they look at reducing the term length of contracts again, maybe down from 7 to 8 years, maybe down to 5 to 6 years. Again, that's not going to affect a lot of the players in the league. That's only going to affect maybe the top 20-25%, because they're really good players get the nice big long healthy ones, and everybody else basically you get 2 to 3 years. But
so with a TV deal, let me circle back to that a little bit.
Sure.
For the best interest of the sport, Isn't it better to have multiple TV broadcasters because
Mhm.
you're getting a lot of money from the pie? You're because we see with both NBCSN and we both see with Sportsnet, it's not working that great to have exclusivity.
Well, the only reason why it's yeah. Well, they do have they're still TSN still has their fingers in the
Regional.
pie a bit there with some regional coverage. Yeah, the national coverage, and I think that's along the again that's still going to be along the lines of what they're going to be looking for here with the American one. They're going to be have like one main broadcaster, but then maybe bring in the ESPN to do some regional coverage or something like that, or something on a smaller scale. I'm still trying to look up right now what the current rights fee 250 mil.
Wow. 8 times that.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
what where are you getting those? Who
Okay.
brought that number about?
Hmm?
Who brought that number about for 8 times?
I was hearing that via TSN and the Athletics, Pierre LeBrun, who is one of the more respected people,
He's playing for
covering
the
this stuff.
Athletics now. Good for him.
Oh, he does both.
Good
He's
for him.
double-hatted. He's doing TSN and
He
writing for
plays
the
for the
Athletics.
Athletics.
Yeah,
He
for
plays for the
the
Athletics.
Oakland Athletics. Good for it. Yeah.
That's 2 billion with a B.
That's a lot of money. It's
$100 million salary cap, ladies and gentlemen. $100 million salary cap. It only took us 20 years.
Huzzah! But as I'm reading this here is in the article on it on Forbes, they're saying the NHL's big payday, hockey's big payday is coming. So because like revenue is just climbing significantly. For example, 2017-18 NHL revenue was $4.86 billion, doubling the total from 2006-07. So just in 10 years, it has doubled. We have 4 franchises now that are each worth over $1 billion. Toronto, Montreal, New York Rangers, and what's the fourth one?
Chicago?
Rangers, Canadians, Leafs. I believe it is.
I want to say, is it Chicago or Boston?
Hang on. It is Chicago.
Okay.
Chicago, that title and title. Boston's not very far behind.
Yeah.
Boston, 925 million. Chicago, 1 billion. Montreal, 1.3. That's in US dollars. Toronto, 1.45, and the Rangers at 1.55 billion. So there you are.
All right then.
Jays.
All right, let's get Mark's not showing up. Let's be honest.
That's okay. Let's talk about some other things.
All right, let's pick their Patreon pick. Lyle, we have a Patreon. Do you know about that?
Yes, I do.
Patreon.com/FaceOffHockey Show. Chris, Matthew, Damon, Mark, Trista, they all contribute. Ethan, Brian, Jeff, Kevin, Mitch, you bet they contribute. Angela and Sean, they contribute as well. You can too. Patreon.com/FaceOffHockey Show. We put a poll up every week for a tier, and then here's the tier's question. Overall, Lyle, the question was they picked, what do you do player and how can you make them worth their price? I will put this a fourth. Oh, I just fucking ripped on him and he shows up. I just fucking rip on this kid. I rip on him in a big way. And this motherfucker decides to go ahead. And as it lags and it lags and it lags and it lags and it lags.
Oh, here we go. That lag time.
It's I'll send this to live and then we'll readjust this camera after he gets on. Mark with the C, welcome to our program.
Hey, there he is.
Yeah, I was just on standby apparently. That's why.
Yeah, we're lagging because it seems we have to have a dedicated PC for this whole thing to edit. So I might have to go out and buy that because it's all Spanish, Mark. It's all Spanish. It's Manuel. That we have to do all these things. So
and I can hear you, and I can see him off there in the corner. I can't hear him.
You can't hear me. Wait, Scotty, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mark. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but Lyle can't hear me.
Lyle, you can't hear Mark?
I can't hear Mark. I can hear you perfectly. I can't hear Mark.
Interesting.
WTF, mate.
Yeah, WTF indeed. Let's see. Where's Mark's microphone? Jesus.
You gotta do more green room stuff again.
I might. Literally have no idea. They say you can add like 75 people to this thing. Apparently not.
Oh dear.
Kind of settings. Interesting.
Well, okay then.
This is our first show. So you
Yes,
have to,
our first show on doing this. Yes,
on this new
this-
network.
yeah.
Huh. I'm surprised you can't hear Mark.
I can't hear Mark. I know.
Test.
I know.
Test. Am I just too low for
Like I
Lyle?
said, I can see him off there in the right hand corner of my screen. You know, along with you and me in the Face Off Hockey Show logo, but I can't hear him.
Can we see? Can we talk to the? Can we talk to the tap chat and see what they got to say about this? Because we'll see what's going on. Because Mark's on the stream output.
Mm-hmm.
If the top chat can hear him, then it's just now it's a latency issue. Because Mark, you can hear Lyle, right?
I can hear Lyle. Yeah, I can hear everything.
Mark can hear Lyle.
Oh my goodness.
Lyle can't hear.
I can't hear Mark.
Can't hear Mark.
I cannot hear his dulcet tones.
Our savior, the Lightstream savior, has abandoned us.
Lightstream. I know, right? Yeah, we're gonna have to. Okay, I'm gonna have to buy it. We can hear everyone. All right, so they can hear everyone.
Oh boy,
The fans can hear everybody.
This is gonna be
Lyle
weird.
can't hear Mark, but he can hear me.
Oh god, this is gonna get awkward. Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what happened. But
yeah. Chris says he can hear everyone. AJ says he can hear Mark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris says I'm sounding a little tinny now. That's probably since Mark jumped on. I don't know.
Maybe.
I
don't know. This is interesting.
Weird.
We're all gonna have these problems, ladies and gentlemen.
Until we get this thing running on a dedicated PC, which is next week's program, hopefully.
Hopefully,
yes.
We'll have Johnny 2 cameras, and then
Johnny 2 cams.
He can have his laptop down there, or someone can be. All right. What does it sound? It sounds like you're coming through a different microphone since Mark got on.
Maybe mine is just that much better than everyone else's.
That's true. It's kind of true.
Could be. His mic could be better.
All right, now Top Chat's fucking me. What's happening, Top Chat?
All right.
I wish I could just raise you up. Anyway,
much for a
hi,
radio
Mark.
show. We can't talk in the chat room and be on a radio show. And Lyle
no, of course
can't
not.
hear me.
And Lyle can't hear you anyway.
Yeah, so you can say whatever you want.
We need to go back to Skype so that we can have
I'm sure it'll be hilarious.
That's true. If we do go back to Skype, we can have the transcription. So
Mark sitting there going, I don't think he did blah blah blah.
Right?
Listen to him rambly. Does he ever shut up? Jeez.
That's what he says in the private Voxer chat that we have.
That we sound like hot garbage now. Now spelled NBOW.
Now
with 4 M's and a silent Q.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was typing too fast.
My.
Anyway, so how about that? I don't know. There was some hockey news, right? There was some stuff that happened. Did you guys already talk about all the stuff?
We talked about most of the stuff, Mark, and what we're going to talk about now is Patrik Laine and why he wants to get so much money, even though he's ripping his own team, and he has been called a liability by some. Lyle, we'll get you started here.
Okay. Patrik
Laine, he wants that sweet, sweet cash. He wants those sweet, sweet ducats. Yet he's ripping that team that's going to give him that sweet, sweet ducats. Can a guy like this be reintegrated into a room after he says all this stuff?
Yeah, he can. But it's going to have to be handled. Let's just say rather delicately. I think his big complaint, though, is based on the transcription of the report that came out of Finland. I guess it was yesterday or today that he's not happy seeing second line duty. He feels that he should be a first line guy, and you can't fault the guy for saying that, because that's part of the reason why his stats went down last season. Is he was skating on the second line with Brian Little and Nick Ehlers, and Ehlers was hurt for a while. He missed over 20 games, and Brian Little is he and Laine just don't have that chemistry that he had with Paul Stastny when he was there briefly, and when he was playing on the top line alongside Mark Scheifele. He needs a talented playmaker, a talented setup guy, and he doesn't have it right now skating with Brian Little. I think that kind of frustrates him a bit. That being said, I think it also shows a bit of immaturity on his part as well. I mean, he's 21. As Blake Wheeler said, he's 21 and he's still growing on and off the ice. So, in other words, everybody remember, he's still a kid. He's going to speak his mind, and sometimes he's going to say things that he really shouldn't have said publicly. So, they appreciate his talent. They obviously don't want to lose him. I think they're prepared to pay a certain amount of money for him. But, at the end of the day here, he's been kind of blowing hot and cold about his future since last month. And that latest comment about, there's the top line and then there's our line, but I play where they tell me to play. That's going to take a little bit of delicate handling. The one thing too, though, I did see a few Jets fans on Twitter pop up and say, "Oh, great! Now Paul Maurice will go down in history as the guy who forced, Patrick Laine, forced him to trade Patrick Laine, and he'll go on to be a big star somewhere else." So, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Mark, your thoughts on Mr. Patrick Laine and what he could be doing with his life?
I feel like there's always a young superstar who winds up being unhappy where they're at. And I'm sorry, Lyle, that you can't hear me.
Yeah,
I wish you could. But like, I thought at some point Jack Eichel complained a little bit too about being in Buffalo and the team not being a winning team. And I don't know. I just feel like he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, interesting.
I mean, Patrick Laine, when Winnipeg was a great team his rookie year, and he was a big reason for that. So maybe he just set the bar too high. The bar was set too high for his rookie year, and now he doesn't like where things are headed. I don't know.
Interesting. Laine was a big success. It was a big reason for the Jets' success. And now you're saying that he's reached that top point where he can't do, doesn't think he can do anymore, or he plateaued that first year, or what was?
Well, no, he because he reached the highest of highs.
Are you talking to me or Dan?
Oh no, I'm talking to Mark. See, I'm trying to translate to you what Mark's saying, so we can possibly have a tete-a-tete.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to type and speak at the same time.
I can respond
because he's used to the highs of being a playoff team. And didn't he make the conference finals?
Yeah, they made the conference finals his second year there, Lyle, or third year?
Yeah, in his second season. That was also the season where he hit 44 goals too. He had a very good rookie season as well. I believe it's 38 goals in that rookie year, 44. So, I mean, there's no question the guy has the potential to be a 50-goal scorer. But this is a kid that needs quality setup, man. If he was skating on the same line with Scheifele and Wheeler for an entire season, there's no question in my mind he hits 50 goals. No question.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But he's still young, and he's still kind of got to develop parts of his game too. I mean, let's not forget. I mean, Ovechkin, early in his career, I mean, tremendous offensive player, very physical player. But let's be honest. I mean, defensively, not so good. And then you fast forward many years later, and you see him blocking shots in the Stanley Cup final and being one of his team's best two-way players. So it is an evolution, Ovi's one of the few guys, though, who's able, I think, to be able to still maintain a high level of offensive production while significantly improving his defensive play.
It's true. I think Laine is going to be fine. I just don't know where. as much as I hate to say Brian Burke is right,
He's
he does have a I think that he had a point where he says, he's a good goal scorer, and goal scorers are going to get the money that they're owed because they're goal scorers, and that's the name of the game: scoring more goals than the other team. Other than that, like you said, Lyle, it's changing his game. Who's going to be able to get through to him? Is it Paul Maurice? Is it somebody else? Is it his own ego that he has to get over? These are the questions that he's going to have to answer himself because he's over at SC Burn skating, having the time of his life.
With Mikko Rantanen, let's not forget, with Mikko Rantanen as well.
Mikko
I wouldn't say having the time of his life. I think.
Tax-free. There's chocolate. There's watches. What more do you want? There's cheese with hole in it. Like, what more do you want out of your
life?
God. Yeah. So I think that overall, we'll see how it goes. I think that Line A is. Jets fans probably don't want this to prolong, obviously. But I mean, I guess how are the fans going to react to this? Because that's a passionate fan base, Lyle. Like, you look at this team, if they feel they're done wrong, done dirty, do you think that they'll hold a grudge forever and a day and then not let Phoenix hear about it at the end?
Well, no, but that's the thing. I mean, listen, just like with the Leafs though, and with Marner, I mean, if he comes back and he plays lights out and everything, then everything will be forgiven and forgotten. All right, until the next time when his next contract, discussions come around again, and then we'll go through this same dance all over again about what a heel he is for not taking less money to play in the hometown discount that every player should be taking. But until this gets sorted out, it's just going to twist the wind. And this is just becoming like a big, Jesus, there are big problems coming up in Winnipeg now too. I mean, holy crap, Dustin Byfuglien taking some time away now, and his future kind of up in the air. It's interesting times in Winnipeg right now.
I wonder what that deal is. I wonder what that. I hope it's something where he's my big thing is that he's going back into camp and maybe he didn't train this summer. Maybe like it's a situation where his weight continues to be a problem for him. Hopefully that's best case scenario.
Now, apparently what the talk is, and this is coming from guys like Bob McKenzie, who are one of the best connected guys in the league. It could just be, I don't want to say motivation. It could be concern. Yeah, you read some things were saying that he's lost his love for the game. So in that aspect, motivation could be part of it. But I've also heard some speculation that listen, he's had injuries, had a string of them. Now he's also had concussion, and I think he's had a couple now. And who knows? Maybe that's got him kind of worried a bit too. Who can say? Right now, lots of speculation over what it's about, and of course, there's always the more insidious crap. And I'm not going to go into that either. But it's kind of surprising because as we know, I mean, Byfuglien has always had a big love for the game, and his play has certainly demonstrated that. So whatever it is, he needs some time to figure it out, and hopefully he can. If it's just a motivation thing, hopefully he can regain that and come back and play, because boy, the Jets' blue line was already in a bit of trouble. With having traded away Trouba and then losing Myers and Chiarot to a free agency. But, now if Byfuglien's gone, things are going to get a whole lot scarier back there.
Indeed. All right. What is Julius Honka's value as a trade trip, Lyle? I'm saying a bag of pucks.
Well, if you by bag of pucks, if you mean a draft pick, but definitely not a first round pick or a second round pick or a third round pick or a fourth. No, you might get a fourth for him, but I don't know. There's a couple of teams that apparently have some interest in him, one team that was thought to have had, and that was the Carolina Hurricanes, but after they signed Freddie Clausen there yesterday, I don't think that they have as much interest in Honka as was originally believed. But supposedly the Montreal Canadiens are one of the clubs that was kind of kicking the tires. My buddy Eric Engels here at Sportsnet was saying that they were looking more for maybe a player for player deal rather than a player for draft pick. But I don't know what player Montreal would have in mind they'd be willing to give up to bring in Julius Honka, who's really struggled to crack the Dallas Stars blue line. So obviously I think there is going to be some interest in him, but the return's probably not going to be very much.
Yes, that's true. All right, so we're gonna send this. We're gonna try this again.
Yes, testing. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you? All right, try again, Mark.
Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I still can't hear it.
I just left and
Bummer.
came back. I'm in the middle of the screen on the output. I'm right in the middle. I'm covering up both of your faces on the screen output.
Yeah, I know. 'Cause I gotta move it. Therein lies the problem. I want to see Lyle if you have the ability to go ahead and check your audio, and he's gone.
No, I'm still
Okay.
here.
You want me
I
to-
Oh, he's
turned
here,
my
and he's
camera
here.
off.
Check your source there, Lyle. Check your source, your audio source, if you can do that. Maybe flip that on and off again.
Okay, I'm just looking at.
Testing.
I'm in my settings, just looking at microphone and speakers.
Yeah, speakers. See if you can flip the speakers on and off again.
All right, let me.
Okay.
How's that?
All right.
Testing.
Can you hear me?
Testing.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear Mark?
No.
He can't hear me. What the shit, man? This is ridiculous.
I don't know.
Okay, how about
No,
now?
I can hear. No, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, I can hear Lyle.
Better one, better two,
I can hear Lyle. Can you?
better
not hear Lyle?
one.
Mark can
This is
hear Lyle.
insane.
I can hear Lyle. I can hear
Okay.
Mark. Lyle can't hear Mark.
I can't hear him. It's the
Interesting.
weirdest thing. Yeah, no, I can't hear.
Weird.
Maybe if I crank
Just
up.
hang on a second. I'm going to pop
How
up.
about if I pump up the jams?
Okay, what about now?
If Mark pumps up the volume.
Okay.
Actually, this is the highest that my. I'm probably a little high on the low end there. I should probably turn that
That's
down.
fine.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah.
All
I
right,
mean, I can still hear you.
Can you hear Mark or no?
Oh, I still can't hear Mark. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you, but you're far away.
Oh,
Because I think you're using your web mic or your camera or your computer mic.
how about now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Mark,
That better?
talk a little.
Yeah, I got him.
Yeah.
I got him.
You got it.
I
can still see him, but I can't hear him.
So I think if I
maybe
switch
something will
mine-
have to work out next week.
Yeah, if I switch mine, it's not going to matter. I don't think. But here,
Mm-mm.
how about now, Lyle? Can you hear me? No, he can't hear me.
I can't hear you. Still can't hear you. Well then. Yeah, we're gonna have to dive into this. Obviously, there's gonna be kinks here, folks, and don't kink shame us, please, for the love of God. We might have to get with the light stream people. Be like, hey, what? I just wonder why Lyle's like. If Mark can hear Lyle, then why can't Lyle hear Mark? Is the, I guess the biggest thing that we're trying to figure out. If we had Johnny here, if he wasn't in a drunken stupor in San Francisco, maybe if he could hear, then if Jesus can hear. What we should do, actually, I should yell who wants to be in chat. Who wants to come on the show? No, we can't do that. I can't open up the phone lines like that. Can't open up the phone lines. Lyle, what else you got for us? I mean, is there anything big and exciting, or should we just give it a wrap and call it a day?
No, it's pretty much everything that I had to talk about. We did the CBA, we did Bufflin, Line A, Marner.
We did a whole hockey show almost.
Yeah,
So.
almost. I mean, if you and Mark want to chat for a bit, I mean, that since he just popped in, and I can kind of.
Yeah, I was gonna say, since we can't hear Mark, I was gonna spend 10 good minutes with Mark and berate him for not showing up on time and being a father, being a loving father who's attentive to his child.
Yes, how dare he?
How dare he? But yeah, no, Lyle, thank you for joining us.
No problem.
We will talk to you next week. Hopefully, everyone will hear. If not, we'll go back to Skype in the quad box.
Yeah,
And
we'll
then
sort
we'll go
something
from
out.
there.
We'll sort things
Yeah,
out, man.
exactly.
Okay.
All right,
take care,
buddy.
guys. Take care,
See you,
Mark.
Lyle.
All right.
There he goes. Lyle Richardson, SpectorsHockey.net. You can find him at Spectors Hockey on Twitter. So this light stream thing is kind of fun.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, aside from the fact that we only get one out of every, I think the frames per second is 1.
Yeah, no.
On the stream output.
Yeah, that's the problem, is that because of, like, I guess the cameras and the fact that we're so awesome, then we the output's kind of whatever. But for podcast, it could be great. We'll just have to see what the output file is.
Yeah.
How you been doing, buddy? How are things?
Okay. A little busy over here, but
Right.
otherwise good. There was yeah. Today was a bit nuts. Brittany had like 6
Nuts.
appointments that she had to go to. So
Wow.
Mama Patanza was here at the house.
Hey.
And then when I came home, it was, bless you. Wow, that was
Thank you.
aggressive.
Yeah. Really aggressive, really.
It was cook some dinner and then well, luckily Hudson was pretty tired, so he went to bed pretty quickly. But
Nice.
But then Brittany got home and hung out for a little bit. And then I came down. So
Nice.
Yeah, I got down as quick as I could.
Hey man, you got to the show. That's all that matters.
That's it.
You're not going to have an absence on your card.
Better than Sean,
which apparently made a appearance at the Maryland Black Bears game with Johnny, which I found hilarious.
Yeah, that is very funny.
Because I'm sure he was bitching and wondering about the streaming quality and wondering if we can get their games on All In Broadcasting. So, who's to say? What a guy. Always wheeling and dealing. But I think this is once we can figure out if when Lyle can hear you and other people can hear you, maybe this will be great.
Yeah, maybe it was the order in which people like. I wonder if Lyle came back, if he'd be able to. Maybe he was the one who needed to drop off and rejoin.
Possible,
but
we'll have to try that again.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. It's a new. I told these people from the start, it's a new venture, but we can put funny things everywhere. We get the logo. Yeah, man. Hold on. Let me add. I love doing this because it's like showing people how the computers work in the 90s. It was a crazy thing then. It's a crazy thing now. So I mean, oh no. The thing is that when you add all these crazy things, you have to have a great processor for it.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I can try to host at some point, but
well, sure. Well, when we do a late night show, we will have that on there. So I'm dragging something here, and it takes forever because it's reloading. That I can just buy like a super mini computer and then just go from there. You know what I mean? And just buy that with a dedicated thing.
An oxymoron, right?
Yeah, super mini computer.
But
look at that, Mark. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Look at what?
Look at that right there.
What is
that? You
that?
see the picture of the Blues jersey? Look at that Blues jersey right next to me.
I see a Maryland flag.
The other side.
Can you see it? No, it's not in frame. Oh, I see it on. So it's not. Here's the thing. It's not on the in studio thing, but it is on the stream output. I see it. I see the old school Blues jersey.
See, I can move it to the other side now. It's on the other side of front of the Maryland flag.
Look at that.
And
it's fancy.
That's their new alternate. So
I like it.
It's
classic. That is a classic Blues jersey that has red in it for some reason. I never understood that, but
they had red in it for the other jerseys too, which was you're right, very bizarre.
Yeah.
But I can delete it and change it, and then like I hit send to live, and you look at the stream, poof, it's all gone. It's all gone. Not even in your face anymore.
Is that like a share screen sort of thing?
It's basically a layer. Ooh, it's a layer like your Photoshop layers.
Got it. Yeah.
Like this logo is a layer. The logo that we have in the bottom grid.
Look at
that's a layer.
It's like production. So I see what you're saying. So there really should be someone who's the producer that has a really, really, really good computer that invites us all to his or her. Could be PR Laura maybe one day.
Maybe.
Being the producer for our show.
Right, because I said Johnny can't be producer anymore because he'd have to be active in this thing, and I don't think he wants to do that. Not for nothing. I don't think that's his bag, because it's like I have to manually resize you and put you into a corner. Resize myself, put into the corner.
Yeah, nobody
Resize
puts,
the jersey, put it into the corner.
nobody puts me in a corner.
It's true. You're not wrong. Well, I did this time.
Yeah,
For
just
the
this
show.
once.
Yeah. Justice wants to let you know it can be done. So, yeah, you got any shout outs?
Oh yeah, it's almost 9. How about that? Yeah, I guess so Hudson's birthday is not this weekend but next weekend, so I probably should have shouted that out next week. But I'm going to do it this week anyway cuz we've been doing a lot of prep for that. So second birthday coming up. That's it's a big one. You know, it's twice as much as the previous birthday.
Right.
So it's pretty important. Let's see. Other than that, I don't know, man. I don't know what I need to shout out anymore. Oh, here's one. So Brittany got me this fun thing. I'm gonna move my mic for a sec.
That's fine.
So it says, on this night, the stars aligned and the Washington Capitals won their first Stanley Cup. And it's literally a
Hey.
star map of where the stars were over T-Mobile Arena on Thursday, June 7th, 2018. So it's pretty cool.
That's nerdy fun. I like that.
Yeah. That's like a Neil deGrasse Tyson level nerdy.
Is he touching his assistants? Kind of nerdy. He,
Hey,
you know,
I mean, I think he was exonerated from that. Maybe
was he? I don't know.
I don't know either. But in any case, it is still very nerdy. So
That's cool though. I like it.
yeah, so I thought it was pretty neat.
I like it. It's awesome.
That's pretty much all I got.
Cool. Have you gotten your OVOs yet?
I didn't, and there's not a chance that I'm ever going to get them because if I haven't gotten them already, and I don't think there's a Giant anywhere near where I live right now. So
Well, Mama Waz got some yesterday,
yeah,
and she peeked in today as well. They can only buy one box at a time, limit one on the OVOs, and they're behind the customer service desk. That's why they're such a hot commodity.
yeah.
It's amazing. So I got a OVOs when I go down in January. It's gonna be fun. So get your OVOs today.
So I just looked, and Hudson is not in his crib anymore. So I probably need to head upstairs.
All right. Bye, buddy. It's good seeing you.
That's my shout outs. And
All right.
I'm sorry. Got to roll.
That's fine. Peace out, man. There he goes. Mark's done. Mark is out of here. He is gone. He is fait accompli. And it's just me and you. Just me and you now, everybody. How about that? Can I just delete every single thing? Just delete him. And then I'll delete Lyle. And then hold on. Delete that. Make me bigger. Can I make me bigger, or is it going to overlap? That's going to overlap there. I'll put that there. In process. So Mark has oh God. Jesus. Okay. Thank God you guys can't see any of that. Thank God it's just only me just hanging out in my own face. And yeah, on the podcast, you people are going to be really messed up with what's going on. So that's it. We're going to shift this over here, and that's it. We've updated everything, and here we are. Thanks for joining us on this trip so far. Hopefully we can fix it later. But we're done. My shout outs are that. OVOs. Shout out. Thank you all for listening. You guys have been great. We appreciate the tech help you guys did there. Chris, big MVP there. AJ, Eddie, shout out to you boys as well. That'll do it. For Mark with a C, I'm Scotty Watts. Take care of yourself and someone else. This has been Face Off Hockey Show on faceoffhockeyshow.com, as well as YouTube, as well as Lightstream, as well as everything else. Facebook, facebook.com/FOHS radio, twitter.com/FOHS radio, and Instagram.com/FOHS radio as well. And our Patreons, patreon.com/faceoff hockey show. There's going to be a long delay after this because we end the stream. And once we end the stream, it ends the stream and cuts off everything. So I'm going to make sure the plugs have enough time to gestate, go on, and then we move on as a people from there. So We'll be back next week, hopefully with a dedicated computer and hopefully with a little bit better sense of self. How about that? Until next week, guys. Peace.